You're still watching the Eastern Business Report right here on the Afia Business Morning. It's Friday, and as usual, we'll be giving you major highlights from this week's discussion. This week, we had Professor Chukwuike join us in the studio, who spoke on the economy costs and growing causes of insecurity in the country. Let's take a look.
It would be really concrete for me to begin to make assumptions. Given that we can't place our hands completely on what may be the primary reason for that. But obviously, there are a lot of other reasons that one can assume may be driving that. One of them is politics. It's unfortunate we can't remove the impact of the 2027 elections, is playing on the current emergence of kidnappings and all that in the northern area, Parastate and all that. We saw that during Goodluck Jonathan time when it was obvious that the North and all that, the opposition as it were, didn't want his re-election. So all manner of issues came up, and that could also be playing out this time. There is also the current issue with respect to genocide, Christian genocide in the North, where Christians are being killed, kidnapped, and all that. And the recent interest that has been shown by the international community, being driven by the US government. And recently, the Italian Prime Minister has also lent a voice to the issue. So that could be another point. So politics, religion, then on the part of religion also, it may not be out of place if we also take the theory that the jihadists are on the prowl, to Islamize the entire country. So that could also be to endanger fears, on the minds of residents, not just in the northern area, but Southwest also.
Are you saying that some politicians might be responsible for these killings and attacks happening in the country?
Yes, it can. Politics cannot be removed from what is happening. We've seen it happening before. So politicians can do anything to achieve their primordial, primitive, private ends.
We also had Rowland Ndudim yesterday to discuss Ebonyi State proposed 2026 budget, including plans to establish a cement factory. Mr. Rowland believes that the leap from 2025's budget in 2026 budget is a quantum one. Let's take a look.
Personally, I have some reservations about the quantum leap. We're talking about close to 100% quantum leap in budget allocation based on the projection. When you look at growth of countries, or you look at 10%, 20%, maybe 30%, a leap in projection, which is fair. But to now jump 100% is quite bullish and daring. And there are a lot of reservations along the paths in trying to achieve a huge budget expenditure outlay like this. Number one, yes, the governor said that they are allocating 83% towards capital, which is fine and good. But then the bulk of the funding will come from loans, which will be tied to the federal allocations. Now, when you look at the major project, which is the star project the governor tends to achieve, which is the building of a cement factory, he has allocated 150 billion. And 150 billion is about $100 million. And so the question now is, cement business, very fine and good. It will open up an area. Ebonyi State has huge limestone deposits. Very good idea. But my snag is businesses of this nature, it's better run by private firms. They're more efficient, they can source adequate capital, and there's stability in terms of governance compared to state governments, where the entire lifespan is 8 years and the next person comes in. And so the question about continuity of the project is a major factor. Where you have limestone deposit is somewhere around Nkalago axis, where the former Nkalago cement factory used to be. I hope that is the location. And so it is expected that that entire area will see a lot of massive development in that axis. I happen to be into Obajana Cement in Kogi State. And it's a massive investment down there, and entire development reach those areas, from road networks to housing to provision of so many basic facilities. So this is what this project tends to attract in that area, and that's the beauty.
Okay, before... Yeah, go ahead.
So but my major concern is the continuity of the state government to start and complete this project. And not just complete it, will the price be attractive? This is another question. Cement business is not an all-commerce affair. It's being run by monopolies and cartels. And so the right mix from governance to management to execution to deployment of funds has to be top-notch. You know, one thing about projects like this, there's always an opportunity cost. And the main attention of the governor. So for a project of this nature, it's going to be given all the attention. And so some of that project will not really suffer, but will experience decline in possible experience paucity of funds. The attention will not be there. That's the point. If you read out the governor's the budget, there were emphasis on school renovation, the renovation of the Nkalaki hatchery, which is good because the previous administration did a lot of brick and mortar. So what I'm looking at the governor is looking at starting a different focus. It's not going to be more of roads and roads and roads. And so I do hope and pray more funds will be allocated to education and health so that there's a balance. But with a project of this magnitude, which is the cement factory, there will be opportunity costs. That's a given.
Now, you said a lot of things about the cement factory earlier. You said it's better, it is run by private sectors. So are you saying that the cement factory cannot deliver on its promise?
No, not that. The point is, cement business is privately run and run efficiently. We have seen the outcome of governments in businesses. What government should have done is, provide equity, which is the land and the mineral resource. Then what the government now do is provide site and services along those areas. Good roads, good lights, housing, accommodations in that axis. Cement business is a standalone business. Whoever is going to establish it is going to create its own facility. It's not depending on power. They're going to generate power on its own. They're going to provide services on its own. They're not going to depend on government for anything. And so these are areas where the government can come in and say, okay, we're providing the land. We're going to provide basic services along the road. We're talking about heavy-duty vehicles that will come into those areas, and we need to apply on roads. So that road itself has to be provided by the government. Water has to be provided by the government. So these are services the government should provide along those areas. And the private sector will come in to take up the running of the plant. At worst, I would have appreciated it. Okay, the government provides 20% or 30% equity contribution. It makes more sense so that the government can deploy those funds to education, housing, rural electrification, the roads connecting those areas. You see, and that road along that area, that's the Nkalago axis. If that is where the cement factory is to be sited, also links Enugu State. So there should be something that has to spread development in that axis.
Thank you, Mr. Rowland, for joining us yesterday on the program. And we've come to the end of this 10 Business Report today. Until I see you on Monday for another edition of the Afia Business Morning, I am Marvelous Apuamaga. Many thanks for staying with us. See you on Monday.